welcome to Shooby Dooby Doo-Up, a podcast where we talk about pop music, specifically by deep diving a randomly chose UK top 10 singles chart from the past. This week, we are looking at the chart of the 14th of March 1991. I'm Andy Robertson.
I'm James Cook.
Listen to part 1 for numbers 10 to 6, but for a quick potted version, let's have a little recount now. James, down 5 to number 10 this week. It was Nomad with Devotion.
An unexpected supergroup of polymaths.
Up 12 to number 9, it's Quartz featuring Dina Carroll with It's Too Late.
You'd really have to go some to mess that song up, and luckily they just about get away with it.
Despite the bottle tops. Up 10 to number 8, it's Roxette with the song Joyride.
Glorious, upbeat Europop from Roxette. Best song to listen to when you're in a wonderful balloon.
A non-mover at number 7, ironically, since it's all about moving your body, it's Move Your Body by Expansions.
Yeah, it's like Devotion, but without the good bits.
It's a winner, though. A non-mover at number 6, Because I Love You, open bracket, the Postman song, close bracket, by Stevie B.
And in the break between recordings, Andy confided in me that that's the song he wants played at his funeral.
I really want to hear my funeral. I love it, really. I just thought, for part 1, I'd look cool if I gave Stevie B a kick in. And for my wedding, actually, I'd like it.
A combined wedding funeral. You can listen to all the songs on our Spotify and YouTube playlist. The links are in the descriptions.
I'm also going to gently point out you can't listen to all of the songs. 2 we're about to cover, James, in this week's top 5, and not on Spotify. I'm sure we'll get into it.
They are on our YouTube playlist, though. And the other half a dozen songs that aren't in this top 10 at all, they're what we get into in our bonus tracks podcast, where we look at songs that never get into the top 10. And there are some absolutely massive songs. There are some absolutely massive songs in that list this week.
2 of them blew my mind that they'd never made the top 10. I mean, I was going to say spoilers, but nip over to Spotify while we're doing this, either before, during, or after. We always like to remind you that you can listen to these songs and hear what we're rabbiting on about. Like I say, the bonus tracks, there's a couple of surprises, isn't there?
And as a special treat, here are a couple of the clips from that bonus tracks episode.
The angst of a teenager.
Oh, I'm so angsty. Why? Don't know.
Like a soul without a mind, in a body without a heart, I'm missing every part. All that stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, yeah.
It's about the Tin Man from Wizard of Oz.
If he only had a heart. Yeah, all right then.
There was going to be a third line, like a soul without a mind, in a body without a heart, and a lion without any courage was going to be the third line.
Or the Noive.
You feel there's some kind of global conspiracy to make you like R.E.M. Losing My Religion?
Very much. I think it's a work of the Illuminati.
Join our community now at patreon.com/ShoobyPodcast.
Number 5.
Down 1 to number 5. It's You Got the Love by The Source featuring Candy Staton. I mean, how many times has this song or a version of this song been in the charts?
Many, many, many. I mean, yet this is one of the songs I was on about in the old Spotify thing. The original, this version we're talking about, rather, not the original, is not on Spotify. So, click on our YouTube playlist to hear it, I guess.
But it is not the original version of You Got the Love.
No.
Not even by The Source featuring Candy Staton, although The Source on the original is a different The Source to The Source that's on this track.
Huh?
Yeah. Should we talk about what we feel about this song? I mean, this song feels like it's a classic, that it's always been around, doesn't it?
Yeah. We mentioned in part 1, Stevie B's Because I Love You might have been about God. I learned through YouTube comments that possibly You Got the Love could be a spiritual song at least.
It's got a whole thing about my saviour's love being real.
As Bazzacalicious on YouTube says, this song is about your creator. His name is Jesus. Just to, dot the I's and cross the T's. Thanks you, Bazzacalicious. I feel, James, from, let's call it your general sense of being, your posture, that fiery look in your eyes, you've got some story about this.
When I saw that this song was in the top 10, I went, oh, I know exactly which version it is as well. It's the kind of diggy 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 version of it. Yeah, because there are other versions of it that don't go diggy 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 diggy. So I looked on Spotify for that, could not find it on Spotify, found it on YouTube, 1991 version. This was it, because I remember, again, watching it Saturday lunchtimes on the chart show. But this isn't the original, You've Got the Love. The original is in 1986, and it's a more sort of standard sort of funk soul song that you be reminiscent of around mid-80s.
I agree.
The song was written for the soundtrack of a documentary about an obese man called Big Ron Hay, who was trying to lose weight. Right?
By throwing his hands in the air.
Apparently so. The documentary was being produced by Dick Gregory. Do you know who that is?
That does ring a bell. Is it Beatles connected?
He's a
Dick Gregory?
comedian, Dick Gregory.
Oh, go on.
He was an African-American George Carlin type in the 60s, got into activism, and as a protest against the Vietnam War, he went on hunger strike in the late 60s, lost like £200 through dieting.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden he's like a healthy eating and diet guru.
Okay.
Hence him wanting to make this documentary.
I mean, it seems a little bit like in 1991, Bobby Sands might have done a Keep Fit video, hadn't he? I mean, you know, that's not dieting.
So they're going to make this documentary. It's about essentially the world's fattest man.
Yeah.
We're going to try and get him to lose weight. That's what the documentary is about. They commission some songwriters who call themselves The Source to...
Low calorie, I hope.
Yeah, to write a song. They write You Got the Love. Candy Staton sings on it.
I was not expecting us to go here with this song, I have to say, James.
No, neither was I
All right.
when I was researching it, but the story behind it is so weird. So Candy Staton says this guy, he wants to get down to £195. He gets down to £300, and then his mother comes to visit him because they're in Barbados making this documentary. She comes to visit him. She cooks him this enormous meal. He falls off the wagon massively, starts eating again, puts all the weight back on, and then even more, and then he dies.
Right.
So the project is scrapped because you can't have a documentary about a guy who eats himself to death.
No. I mean, that was in a 90s video. What's that bloke who died recently did that McDonald's one?
Morgan Spurlock.
Yeah.
Morgan Spurlock, yeah.
Yeah. I suppose you can do a documentary.
Yeah, all right. Well, that wasn't the documentary they wanted to make. So, anyway, so they've got this song that was going to be the theme tune, You've Got the Love, and they go, well, we're not putting that out. And it just disappears. Meanwhile, across town, a guy called Jamie Principle writes a sort of proto-house song called Your Love, which he then collaborates with the DJ Frankie Knuckles. That is basically the backing track of this version.
I learned on YouTube it was sampled from Frankie Knuckles.
Yeah, I mean, it is basically that, with the a cappella of the vocal put over the top. That is released in 1989, and later that year, a club DJ in London called DJ Aaron Abdullah puts Candy Staton's vocal over the Frankie Knuckles track and creates this.
The version that, by and large, we know and love.
Well, it's not the version we know and love, because this is the 1991 version, and there are subsequent versions which are sort of more well-known, I think.
Okay.
So this version is produced by a British producer called John Truelove, who decides to call himself The Source as an homage to the three songwriters who wrote the original. Are you with me so far?
Yeah, I'm following it.
Okay.
I'm thinking about John Truelove. I mean, that's a good surname for pop music, isn't it? Like from the film High Society. Don't Bing Crosby and Grace Kelly sing True Love to each other? Imagine if they were singing about The Source. That'd make a very different scene.
So the version I think most people know is the 1997 version, which is more stringy. And that was remixed by Now Voyager. Who is Now Voyager?
Betty Davis.
No, it's John Truelove again. He just changed his name.
Okay.
And that version then becomes the basis for the version that Florence and the Machine do a cover version of. And then after that, there's a mashup of Florence and Dizzy Rascal.
Yeah, I remember.
Do you remember that at the Brits?
Yeah, I do remember.
And they released that, and that gets into the chart, which means that version is a mashup of a cover of a remix of a mashup.
The never-ending nature of pop music, I like it. Great facts. Good story.
Yeah, so I was reading all about this week going, my God, who knew this is where that song came from? And that had it not been for Aaron Abdullah, the DJ in London in 1989, You've Got the Love would have probably disappeared forever.
Amazing. On such small things the world turns. Oh, that's great research. Do you want to know some research I did? Looking at YouTube comments.
Go on, then.
Sentient Thunder Tank 2079.
I mean, that's a great name. He wasn't the world's fattest man, was he?
I don't know.
Sounds like Sentient Thunder Tank.
It might be.
A nickname for him.
Well, he doesn't talk about making him feel like throwing his hands in the air. He says, it makes me feel like I'm 15, drinking cider in the park and checking out fit birds, which I liked a lot. Matt Willis, I'm guessing not the one from Busted.
Could be, though.
He says, listening to this coming back from Fantasia, fuck knows how anyone drove then, but we did, which I always think is a good notion, the idea of going to these raves and everyone driving home. Let's call it post-dancing in altered states. And just to, let's say again, underline the culture around this chart of 1991, Robert Taggart 5757 says, my jaw was like a typewriter in the 90s listening to this.
Candy Staton said she hated this version when it came out.
Oh, okay.
She said she loves it now, mainly because...
I am making the money sign. Yeah. All right. Well, you would, wouldn't you? Yeah. I feel a little bit that, I've known this song for ages. It almost feels like an old folk song, weirdly. Unfortunately, not on Spotify, like I say. And yet, Stevie B is on Spotify.
Every other version of this song is on Spotify, by the way.
Are you going to just put one on as a representative? Let's say that. Let's put one on.
All right, we'll put one on, but it's the wrong one.
Yeah, we're just putting one on as a representative to give you a notion of at least 10 songs being in the top 10. That seems to make sense, James. God knows what we're going to do with number 2, but here we are.
Number 4.
Down 2 to number 4 this week. It's Crazy For You by Madonna. Now, my memory of this, James, was this wasn't... Why is this doing in the charts in 91? I got a mid-80s memory of it. Am I right? Am I wrong?
No, you're right. It was originally released in 1985.
Why is it back in the charts in 1991?
I'll tell you why. It's because Madonna had just released the Immaculate Collection.
Oh, I remember that. The pale blue cover. Yeah. Regal. Yeah, okay. Loads of her songs. Yeah.
And so they decided to put this out because it's been remixed by Shep Pettibone.
Okay, I mean, that gives you an idea of the power of Madonna. There's this old single from 5 years earlier. It's getting to number 4 in the charts. I know. Let's call it a spurious remix.
It actually gets to number 2. It got to number 2 the first place, never number 1.
It's got an oboe on it. I'd never thought I'd say that. And I thought I'd just point that out. Do you remember last week we were doing some record, Don Partridge, I think, and we said it's got a kazoo on it.
Yeah.
First time we said that. First time we're mentioning an oboe.
Is that what it is? Definitely an oboe? It's not a cor anglais?
Are we having an oboe versus cor anglais bit?
I don't know.
Email us in to shoobypodcast@gmail.com if you know if Madonna's either using an oboe or a cor anglais.
I'll be honest with you, I don't know what a cor anglais sounds like. I imagine it sounds a bit like an oboe.
I mean, this song, again, on YouTube, loads of people are going on about how good the 80s were, and here we are in 1991. Like I say, I can't... It confused me a little bit, made me feel younger than I was, which is always nice.
This is what I was talking about when I was saying about how I felt the chart didn't have the identity of 1991. It's because this is in it and it's from 1985.
It's got the identity of 1985, very much.
This is Madonna's third biggest selling single in the UK.
Yeah.
Do you know which two have sold more?
I would say Like a Prayer, that was number 1 for ages.
Nope.
Material Girl?
Nope.
Like a Virgin?
Yeah, that's number 2.
Okay, number 1, but go on.
Is Into the Groove.
Okay.
Yes. And like Into the Groove, this is a song from a film.
Yes. Now, I was looking at... Did you watch the video?
Yeah.
That's not from Desperately Seeking Susan, that video, is it?
Nope.
What's it from?
It's from a film called Vision Quest.
Oh, yeah.
Which makes it sound like it's going to be about wizards and goblins and elves, and it isn't.
What's it about?
The plot of Vision Quest is that, Matthew Modine plays the main character. He plays a high school wrestler who falls in love with an older woman, played by Linda Fiorentino. So I was like, okay, I wonder how much older Linda Fiorentino is than Matthew Modine. She is less than 1 year older than him. But in Hollywood terms, that's like 30 years.
They should have just stuck with that age difference. I'm really struggling with her. She was born in November. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I really used to fancy Linda Fiorentino, though. So, I didn't know that was. I didn't know she was in this film.
Oh, I should say Vision Quest, Rotten Tomatoes rating 63%.
Okay.
Madonna shows up in the film singing this song.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the clip of her in a bar singing it is from the movie Vision Quest.
And that's her only appearance in the film, really?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Well, at the time, she was not the global superstar that she would go on to be by 1991.
Now, I felt like I'd heard this song. Well, I had heard it. I didn't feel like it. I felt like throwing my hands in the air. I felt like I'd heard this song, but this week it has struck me how beautiful this song is, yeah?
Yeah, you like it?
Yeah, I loved it, man. I thought, again, it was just one of those ones as a Madonna song. I had a little look on the old YouTube of cover versions of it. Everyone's having a go in the sheds and in the kitchens. I always like that, James. There's a great version by a guitarist called Roberto Valle. I'm going to gently nudge you towards. It's a solo acoustic version of him playing this song, and it really brings out, like I say, the beauty of the melody, the beauty of the construction of the song, the inversions of the chords. I mean,
What does that mean?
All right, I was trying to play it a little bit, like an inversion. You got an E, yeah? That's an E chord. I think it's an E.
So much E going around in the charts this week.
And an inversion, essentially, is you put those notes in different orders. So you might put something at the bottom, so it's...
So you're moving an E around.
Yeah, putting where the notes are. Now,
like you did in those fields.
Just have half now. See how you get on and come back to me later. So essentially, it's E, A, and B with beautiful inversions underneath. She's going, "Doo-be-dee, that the morning," whatever the words are. I can feel it goes to the door. And I was playing that for a bit. Then I realised essentially that with the ham-fisted easy version I was playing, it was, "Well, shake it up, baby, now shake it up, baby." It's with the same chords, E, A, and B, 1, 4, and 5 chords. The home, the dominant, and the subdominant. Essentially, there's a lot of that in there, and yet it sounds so beautiful, so moving, so orchestral.
Is it in the songwriting?
Yes.
Okay, written by John Bettis and John No H. Lind. John Bettis, over 1,000 songs written, including Top of the World,
Looking Down on Creation, the Carpenters one. Yeah.
Human Nature,
Michael Jackson.
yep, Slow Hand,
The Pointer Sisters.
yep, When You Tell Me That You Love Me,
Don't know who sang that.
Dinah Ross.
Go on.
When you tell me that you love me.
Yeah.
Body Rock, Body Rock.
Yeah, who sang that?
Maria Vidal.
Okay.
One Moment in Time,
Give me what? Who sang that?
Whitney Houston.
Of course.
And John Lind, among others, by the way, Boogie Wonderland and Save the Best for Last.
Well, quite here we go. Let's look at the pedigree of the songwriting on this. And when they do I'm going to say a slightly 50s archetype, or not pastiche, but certainly a tribute to that music, they've come out with some beautiful stuff.
Produced by former Studio 54 DJ John Jellybean Benitez.
Okay.
The man that smash hits called the Bishop of the Beat, the Deacon of the Drum Machine, and the High Priest of the Hand Clap.
I mean, there's some great bits, isn't it? Like at the end, I forgot this bit there. It's so brand new. I like Madonna at the end. Rather than hitting a high note, maybe because she knows the limitations of her voice, she goes, "I'm crazy for you." Just a little spoken thing, throws it away. I thought that was really good. And then the little outro of, "So brand new, you know I'm crazy for you." Bop, bop, bop. But again, a little bit like the Roxette record, Joyride, you mentioned in part 1. Go back and listen to that if you haven't. Loads of hooks and unexpected bits of joy in this song.
It was the first ballad that Madonna released as a single, and again, for this chart, was a US #1, knocking We Are the World off the top of this chart. Thanks for that.
Thanks, Madonna. You've killed African children. And then she tries to adopt him. Is that I get the feeling that's the sort of thing she might have done.
But this is end of the school disco slow song, isn't it?
Yeah.
Classic.
Quite. 1985, when this came out, I wanted somebody to be crazy for me, want to dance with me at the end of this. As it turns out, sniffing glue from a crisp packet. I never did that. I don't know why I claimed it.
Did that make you crazy?
Made me crazy for glue.
Crazy for glue, honestly.
Oh, God. I mean, you know, this is where we've ended up. Hey, listen to our Patreon for more of that sort of stuff. Spoiler alert, James. Patreon, this week, our extra songs, our extra content, more interesting than this top 10. Yet we're doing our best, aren't we?
Yeah, I think all the songs are interesting in their own way. I think there are definitely songs in that bonus tracks that you like.
Anyway, we're not talking about them. We're talking about Madonna and the... thank you, Madonna, for your contribution to the panoply of pop.
Number 3.
A non-mover at number 3. It's a former #1. It's the 5th biggest selling single of the year in the UK. It is Do the Bartman by The Simpsons.
Now, James, in the past, as the aforementioned Candy Flip we talked about, didn't we? And often when we do a Beatles song, Tiffany was another one. I saw her standing there. You say to me, as our resident Beatles expert, Andy, what do you think? Now, I'm going to give you a little quiz here. Regular listeners might get the gist of this. What TV show was this first mentioned in this song?
It's, of course, The Muppet Show.
The Muppet Show, isn't it? I'm going to step back, James. Tell me all about your experience with this song. You love The Simpsons, don't you?
I love some of The Simpsons. I'm very much of the opinion that if the series number is more than 1 digit long, then it's not worth watching them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's disappointing.
Are
you doing that? Only the early stuff was good.
Yeah, I am.
All right,
I'm a massive Simpsons snob. I think, and even the first couple of series aren't that good. I think it gets good about series 3, and it's good for like 6 years.
For me, in 1991, this was almost my first, let's call it a glance across The Simpsons.
Same.
Yeah, okay.
Same, because in the UK it was only on Sky Television, which around this time no one had.
Yeah, just rich people.
Because there was nothing on it. There was like different strokes repeats.
Right.
But they did have The Simpsons. They didn't even have the football by that point.
And I feel this is relevant. In 1991, there was a little bit of, let's call it cartoon animation in the world, wasn't it? Like Donkey Kong was big in 1991. Super Mario was in 1991, I think. So a cartoon character, I'm saying, had a cultural import. Hey, Super Mario had a little bit of a moustache, didn't he?
Oh, here we go.
Do you know what I think of Super Mario? If you've got a little bit of a moustache, you look a little bit of a bastard. Anyway, so here we go. Bart Simpson doing the Bartman. I didn't know what was going on about. I had an idea of eat my shorts and I carumba, cowabunga.
Yeah.
He had these catchphrases, but it meant nothing to me, Bart Simpson.
They went big on the merch for Bart, didn't they? Early doors, they had a lot of merch for Bart with all his catchphrases, and this was part of that, having a single called Do the Bartman. By the way, I've listened to this song 4 or 5 times this week. I've still no idea how to do the Bartman.
Yeah, it's a nebulous notion, isn't it?
You can play the time warp once, and you know exactly how to do the time warp. Do the Bartman. You move front to back and move your hips side to side. Is that it?
Seemingly.
That's how you do the Bartman. So yes, this was my first exposure to The Simpsons as well, and it just makes The Simpsons look crap, I think. There's so much in this song which is out of character with the series.
I'm all ears.
It's like it's been written by someone who doesn't really watch The Simpsons, but has seen a couple of lunchboxes and go, I imagine it's probably this. All the things that in the song Bart says he'll do, like throw banana peels all over the floor, that's not a thing he does. Putting mothballs in the beef stew, that's not a thing Bart would do.
Okay, you're saying what the notion of the song, the Bartman being a troublemaker.
I mean, he is, but he's not that basic. Right. There's more to him than that. And, I was watching an old episode on the TV last week, and it was the one where he buys an old factory in an auction for $1, and he makes Millhouse work in it.
I get ya.
He's not putting mothballs in the beef stew, which is entirely self-defeating, and he probably wouldn't do that. So it just doesn't feel consistent with The Simpsons that then happens. Although this comes out chronologically during the second series of The Simpsons, so they haven't quite hit their stride yet. It's just starting to get good.
Gore Victor Leo on YouTube said, who is reviewing this masterpiece in 2025? And that made me think, well, me and James.
Yeah, we are, mate. Hope that helps. Did you reply? You should reply and say we are.
We are. James Paul says, I remember every word of this, but forget what I need when I go to the supermarket. I think that's quite good, isn't it? That gives you a notion of let's call it the nostalgia of pop.
My brother definitely bought this on 7-inch single.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you like it at the time?
I was 13. I would have played it over and over again and learnt the words. It felt a bit thin.
All right. Well,
and it's really long, isn't it, for essentially a novelty record?
6 minutes.
Goes on a ways.
Yeah. We haven't mentioned, let's call it the big fact yet, have we? Which I like.
Go on. I was saving that for you.
No. One of the good things about this song, it's got a New Jack Swing feel to it, weirdly, hasn't it? The rhythm.
Yeah.
I was thinking, that's quite good. I remember it from the time. Who is responsible for this tune, James?
Brian Lauren.
What?
Is the songwriter,
Wow.
formerly of Fat Larry's band.
Okay.
He wrote it, and he gets very annoyed if anyone says someone else wrote it.
He gets pissed off at the notion that Michael Jackson was behind this.
Yes.
Does he?
He says Michael Jackson helped him on a couple of bits. Michael Jackson apparently insisted on putting the name check to Michael Jackson in the song.
That's one of the name checks. I forgot all about it. Yeah. The Bartman, of course, one of self-reference. I mentioned part 1. My apologies.
You can do the Bartman and be bad like Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson insisted that be in it. And Michael Jackson sings backing vocals on the song. But he has to be completely uncredited. Why?
Because he used to...
No, it's because he just signed $1 billion contract with Sony. And this is not a Sony record.
I get
This
ya.
is on Geffen.
It
So
sounds
he
like he
couldn't take credit for it.
It does sound like it could have been on Dangerous a little bit with better words and better singing and everything, the rhythm at least. I found the New Jack Swing notion of it of its time pretty appealing.
You know Michael Jackson is in an episode of The Simpsons.
I remember it. That's been removed, hasn't it, from all streaming services now? I don't like that. Do you agree with that?
In this instance, no.
In what instances do you think it's good? I mean, there's so many old Top of the Pops. You could be watching if Bleeding Jimmy Savile wasn't on them. I know that's putting myself very much at the centre of it, but
That's seeing him is different to hearing Michael Jackson's voice in an episode. I don't know. I mean, I think you just have to take it on a case-by-case basis. It's the season 3 episode Stark Raving Dad, by the way, which he is the voice of a character that Homer Simpson meets in a lunatic asylum.
Yeah.
He is not credited. And also, when the character that he is sings, they had to get someone in to do the singing bit because he wasn't allowed to because of the contract issue.
I would like to watch it, but as I say, I can't because some people have decided that my sensibilities are far too fragile. I mean, I'm not into it.
It's a shame. It's got one of my favourite Homer Simpson lines in it.
Yeah, go on.
It's when Bart puts his red hat in the whitewash, so Homer's shirts come out pink. And Marge is like, well, just wear your pink shirt to work. And he says, I can't. I'm not popular enough to be different.
See, these are things that we lose. Let's call it along the way. Yeah, I'm interested in this, James. Case by case basis, you say.
Yeah.
What would make the Fawlty Towers one with the Germans and that being scenes being chopped out from that?
What scene's been chopped out?
I can't remember. I've just heard loads of people ranting about it.
Yeah, what scene? I mean, there's
the Hitler one. The Major being slightly racist. That's been chopped out, I hear.
Major being racist. There's a great thing that Warner Brothers cartoons, they put up a thing at the beginning that says, this cartoon contains things that these days not acceptable, but we're not going to cut it out because this is from the time and we learned from it, and there's a reason for that.
That's me applauding rather than masturbating gently.
I think that is generally a good thing.
Yeah.
However, I think with an episode of Top of the Pops hosted by Jimmy Savile, what's the thing you put up at the beginning?
Yeah, all right.
Yeah. So I think it's case by case. That's my opinion. I don't think you can draw a blanket rule because every case is different and nuanced in its own way.
That's just a very sensible and balanced way to look at things, James.
I am sensible and balanced.
It's annoying.
We haven't even talked about the singer of this song.
Go on, Bart Simpson,
Nancy Cartwright.
Yeah, right.
Who does all the work on this song,
all the heavy lifting.
It's credited to The Simpsons, but it's Nancy Cartwright. She's doing the work here. Her autobiography is called My Life as a 10-Year-Old Boy. She also voices Nelson Muntz and Ralph Wiggum, among other characters in The Simpsons, and was briefly the voice of Mickey Mouse.
My God, really?
Yep.
That's a good 2 cartoon characters to have on your CV, isn't it?
Yeah.
Who have you done? Oh, just Bart Simpson and Mickey Mouse.
In 2007, she gave $10 million to the Church of Scientology.
Ooh. She might have just been being mischievous like the Bart Simpson was. Maybe a bit like the mothballs in the beef stew. Give 10 million to the Scientology, see what they come up with.
That was a lyric that was cut from the Do the Bartman. That's how you do the Bartman. You give $10 million to the Church of Scientology. What connects Bart Simpson to Sabrina Carpenter?
That's a good question. Are they both short? Both tiny? I don't know. Go on.
Sabrina Carpenter is Nancy Cartwright's step-niece.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, good fact.
Yeah, her dad is her stepbrother, if that makes sense. Did you watch the video?
I didn't, to be honest. I started watching it and turned it off because I thought I was bored and it was 6 minutes long. So.
Yeah, it plays like a not very good episode of The Simpsons. Yeah. There are some good jokes in it, but not enough. What has the video got in common with The Incredibles, Ratatouille, and Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol?
No, I was going to say cartoons till Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol reared its ugly head. Go on.
They were all directed by Brad Bird. One of the animators, apparently, on this video is Gwen Stefani's brother, Eric. Lisa Simpson features in the song, not as a voice, but as...
saxophone.
Playing the saxophone. Yeah. Why can't Lisa Simpson play some notes on a saxophone? I forget exactly which notes. There's like a whole bunch of notes that Lisa Simpson can't play on a saxophone. Why is that?
I don't know.
Because she only has 3 fingers. Also, she's a cartoon and not real. I accept that is also the case. If this song was 2.5 minutes long, I'd be a lot more forgiving of it.
Yeah.
But it goes on a ways.
Number 2.
Up 8 to number 2. Next week is going to get to number 1. It's Hale and Pace with Do the Stonk.
Right, 2 things. It's not Do the Stonk, it's just called The Stonk.
My apologies.
And it's Hale and Pace and The Stonkers.
My apologies, I've made some terrible mistakes. I bring much shame on the Comic Relief brand.
You can't forget The Stonkers. Do you know who's in The Stonkers?
Oh, yeah, it's on the video. There's loads of... All right, James, before we get into this, Hale and Pace, The Stonk. How would you explain that to somebody who's never heard of either Hale and Pace or The Stonk?
Right, so this was a charity record for Comic Relief in 1991. This was the 3rd Comic Relief that had been on TV. Hale and Pace were a comedy double act. The Stonk is because the Comic Relief that year was called The Stonker, which was a throwaway comment by Lenny Henry when he was asked about, are you coming back with Comic Relief 3? And he went, yes, it'll be a stonker.
Let's talk about the notion of the stonk and what a stonker is first, because I feel a little bit, James, that a stonker in the late 80s, early 90s was about an erection, wasn't it?
Was it?
Yeah, I think so. I've got a stonker. So, it had that kind of let's call it, that cachet alongside of it.
It just meant something big and exciting, I thought.
Yeah.
But there you go, dragging us into the gutter once again.
I cannot help it. It was the sexual nature of Hale and Pacey's performance caused a weird bodily reaction in me. Maybe it was a...
Hale and Pace were described by Victor Lewis Smith as... Gareth Hale is the unfunny one with the moustache, and Norman Pace is the unfunny one without the moustache.
Yeah, I mean, this is a little bit, James, like when we slagged off, let's call it Stevie B in the past. Maybe musicians feel a little bit like, fuck off, mate. They wrote a song, it's in the top 10, all that. I don't like slagging off Hale and Pace with, let's call it our comedic background, and yet... they never made me laugh.
Never.
No, I don't think so.
Not even as the management. Management.
Especially not as a management.
Not even when they were the two children's TV presenters.
Nope.
No?
No, did you enjoy them as comedic stylings?
Not even when they were in 3 episodes of The Young Ones.
I liked them. Well, it's the thing with Hale and Pace. They appeared around people I thought were cool. The comedians I kind of liked at the time. They'd pop up. They were in the orbit, weren't they? Yet I always thought... I mean, like I said, I don't say they're Hale and Pace, aren't they?
Yeah.
Let's not be... Well done, Hale and Pace, as Nile Rodgers says. Just because someone laughs at a record that's in the top 10, it doesn't mean that... etc., etc.
They were very much the sort of Smith and Jones wannabes.
Yeah, okay.
They were the James Acaster and Ed Gamble of their day. Hale and Pace. In the days when they used to have double acts on TV, that's not really a thing now.
Right, yeah.
No. What do Hale and Pace have in common with the Muppets?
I don't know. What is it?
They have both won the Golden Rose of Montreux for Best Television Programme.
No.
Other shows that have won that, just to give you some idea of how good Hale and Pace are, The Frost Report, Mr. Bean, Kids in the Hall, The League of Gentlemen, Don't Forget Your Toothbrush, and Faking It.
What's all good company, isn't it?
Yep. So they must have been good to win that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, or recognised at least. Yeah, so let's talk about the music, because as you mentioned before we started banging on about Hale and Pace and their comedic sensibilities, it's got loads of musicians in it, hasn't it?
The backing group, The Stonkers.
Yeah, who are? Go on.
Brian May.
From Queen.
Nick Lowe.
Yeah, Nick Lowe pops up at some point in the video. I thought, what's he doing here?
Dave Gilmore.
Yep.
Tony Iommi.
Yep.
Cozy Powell.
Yep.
Roger Taylor.
Yep. I mean, there's a lot of drummers there for a start, and loads of guitar players. So I don't know who played bass. I should like this song, really. Let's try and describe it. Listen to it on... Oh, you can't listen to it on
It's not on Spotify.
Yeah, it's on our YouTube playlist.
Shamefully not on Spotify. Comic Relief could still be making money if they put it up there.
That's right. Again, a bit like Madonna, stealing money from African babies. Did you spot the celebrities in the video?
Yes.
So we've got Dave Gilmore, Brian May, Tony Iommi, Roger Taylor, Cozy Powell, etc. Yet in the video, there's also an array of, let's call it, light entertainment legends, yeah?
Who did you spot?
I spotted Angela Rippon.
Yeah, right at the beginning.
Right at the beginning. Leslie Joseph from Birds of a Feather. We talked about Birds of a Feather earlier, didn't we?
They're all over the charts in 91. Birds of a Feather.
That's strange. All right. Jonathan Ross, I saw him messing around.
Yeah.
Annabelle Giles, I think her name was.
Have you ever met Annabelle Giles?
I have met Annabelle Giles.
So have I.
Where did you meet her?
In 1995, when me and 2 of my university mates snuck into the Fist of Fun tour launch after show party at the Cosmic Comedy Club in Hammersmith, we 3 nerdy out-of-place 18-year-olds amongst all these media lovies, I saw Stuart Lee, who I know is from the same town that I'm from, so I thought, oh, I've got an in there. So we all grab a bottle of free Budweiser, and I go over looking to see if I can say hello to Stuart Lee to introduce myself. I find my moment, and I go, hello, I can't remember what I said, but I say, oh, I'm from the same town as you. Oh, right, well, what is it? Oh, from Solihull. And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, oh, okay, what's your name? And I go, I'm James. And he goes, all right, James. Do you know Annabelle? And points, and it's Annabelle Giles standing next to her. And my God, she's good looking.
She a pretty lady.
Yeah. You know that thing you do where if you sort of swig from a beer bottle far too quickly, it just froths up over your hand?
Yeah.
I did that in
You're
front of Annabelle Giles.
a bit nervous.
Bit of imagery there.
Nice. Yeah. What can it mean? All right. Also in the video, that's a good story. There was Paul Daniels, he's knocking about, isn't he?
Yeah, they've done something to his hair in it. And he doesn't have much hair.
Yeah. Mary Whitehouse Experience, them fellas.
Oh, they're very funny in this video.
I like Rob Newman not joining
yes,
in, I have to say.
Rob Newman is pretending to be asleep.
Yeah.
David Beale is kind of dancing in a sort of piss-takey way. And Punt and Dennis are trying to do it properly.
I also liked Wee Willie Harris, the old 50s rocker, turning up early on for some reason. It's also got guest appearances within the record by Bruce Forsyth, George Bush, JFK and Neil Armstrong, let's say.
Yeah, because they take the quotes and they put the word stonk into them.
Yeah, it's one small step for mankind, one big stunk for whatever. You can imagine nice to stonky to stonky nice, really boring.
Ich bin ein Stonker.
Yeah. Ich bin ein Berliner.
Which of course means I am a donut.
So they say. So all this is going on. Let's call it the ephemera, the periphery of show business is all knocking around. I mean, I should like the record, really. It's a rock and roll pastiche, isn't it? It's probably played well because all them fellas are on it. It sounds a bit like a Rocky Horror Show song to me, you know. Yeah. It's got that kind of...
And much like the Bartman, it's telling you to do a dance, but they're not really telling you how to do it, other than putting a red nose on your conch.
You've got to do the Bartman. How? You've got to do the Stonk. How?
Give me instructions.
As I mentioned in part 1, when I gave the summary of what these records were about, I claimed there were 2 songs telling you to do something specific, yet they are not being specific about what you should do.
I think that's where the stonk falls down as a work of art.
Are you stonking? I'm asking. Shall I compare thee to a summer stonk? All these terrible weak jokes.
I will say this, though, Andy. As a 13-year-old, excited about the forthcoming Comic Relief Day, which was, I think, the day after this chart, I loved this.
Did you?
Yeah, I thought it was amazing.
This record?
I just loved the idea of the stonk. I loved the idea of Comic Relief. I loved that the Mary Whitehouse Experience were in the video because they were the cool comedy that I liked at the time.
Yeah.
But looking back on it now, it feels very... wackiest people in the office, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You know the episode of The Office where it's Comic Relief? It's basically the prototype of that.
That's right.
It?
Yeah.
People doing wacky stuff.
Yeah, as Gesharia on YouTube says, my cat didn't like this song. Rest in peace. So there's that. I don't know. I mean, yeah, why am I being so cautious about it? It's all right, isn't it? It's number 2. It's a silly song.
It's raising money. Presumably.
As Blue to the Shark says on YouTube, we were easily pleased back then, so I think there's that.
God, we really were. But you do have to bear in mind, other comedy that was around in the time was like the Russ Abbott comedy Madhouse and Little and Large, so...
I mean, a lot of people on YouTube, this is unusual for records, I think, but there's a lot of people on YouTube, they just go for a one-word summary of this record, and let's say it's in the negative quite often. You see rarely in YouTube comments that people specifically go there to slag it off, you know, so I kind of enjoyed that.
It was a double A side.
With what?
With a song called The Smile Song by Victoria Wood.
Okay.
And you think, oh, Victoria Wood, that must be good. Yeah. And I watched it. It's not.
Is she telling you how to smile but not being specific?
It's not a great Victoria Wood song. There are better ones.
Yeah.
What was different about the Red Noses from Comic Relief number 3? What had they added to them?
I don't know. An erection, I'm going to say. No. A big, long penis that was, that's what the stonker is, James.
Must you? No, it was little hands on the side. That was that year.
So people couldn't get their old red noses out and claim they've... They should do that with poppies, I think. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like little hands come outside the bottom. Not little hands, though. It reminds people of Germany.
It's very much the opposite of what the poppy is about.
This is the second Comic Relief single to be a UK number 1. What was the first?
Oh, that's a good question. Give me a clue.
Fi's My Soul.
Oh, the Young Ones one, wasn't it? Living Doll with Cliff Richard.
Yep.
Yeah.
How many Comic Relief number 1 singles do you think there have been?
5.
14.
What? Go on.
I haven't got the list in front of me. It's too many. There have been another 8 that have got into the top 10. Oh. In fact, the only one not to get into the top 10 was Susan Boyle and Peter Kay in drag doing I Know Him So Well, which got to number 11.
That's strangely satisfying for some reason, isn't it? All right. In some ways, the nature of this record, let's call it the charitable elements of it, make it pretty much immune from criticism. It's a little bit of fun. Everyone's having a laugh, and they're raising money for charity. What do you want? Better song, really.
I want to not cringe myself inside out when I watch the video.
The UK's number 1.
It's a non-mover at number 1. Should I Stay or Should I Go by The Clash.
quite fitting. It's a non-mover. It's indecision. It's going to stay where it is. There was a letter in Viz, and let's get into this early on. A letter in Viz back in the day said about the Clash song, should I stay, should I go? They pointed out that if I stay, it will be trouble. So if I go, it will be double, whatever the words are. They're going, so obviously, staying is better than leaving because it saves you half the trouble or whatever. So,
Yeah.
now what's this doing in the charts in 1991, James?
Yeah, originally released in 1982, but it was featured in an advert for Levi's jeans. And Levi adverts are incredibly effective at turning old records into number one singles.
A little bit like the comic relief thing you just mentioned in number 2. I mean, every song was on the Levi's advert became a hit, is my memory of it at least.
Yeah, they're half as successful as Comic Relief. They've had 7 number ones from Levi ads, including this one. Do you know what any of the others are?
The Levi songs, there was a...
They got to number 1.
Was it Marvin Gaye? I heard it through the grapevine.
No.
The Joker, Steve Miller.
The
Spaceman,
Hang on,
Babylon Zoo.
Wait, go back. Heard It Through the Grapevine did get to number 1, but when it was originally released, not when it was re-released for the advert. It only got to number 8.
Steve Miller, Joker.
Steve Miller Band, The Joker in 1990, the advert where the guy has to reverse the bike into the lift, clearly in the lobby, which you don't see, because when the doors open, he drives out front way.
Babylon Zoo was one, wasn't it?
Yes, Spaceman in 1996.
Which was always annoying because the intro to that record, which they had on the advert, was much markedly different from the rest of the song, and people bought that record. But no, that's not true because it got number 1 once everybody heard it. But it was certainly a different take from the advert, wasn't it?
Yep.
Go on, remind me of
that
some more.
wasn't a re-release. That was a sort of a fresh
true.
song.
Go on, remind me of some more.
Stand By Me by Benny King.
Oh, yeah.
In 1987. And then they did start doing like contemporary songs. So there's Inside by Stiltskin. Oh, yeah. Mr. Boombastic by Shaggy. And Flat Beat by Mr. Ozio. I never knew how to pronounce that.
Wazzo, I believe. Anyways, we're not talking about that. We're talking about Should I Stay or Should I Go by The Clash. What can we say about this? Becky Redmond on YouTube says that her dad chose this to play at his own funeral, which I thought was a pretty good song, isn't it? For your as you leave this mortal coil.
Or you can decide to be a ghost, and then you're staying.
Yeah. This is an occasional feature. You know the YouTube comments I like this 0% this, 0%
Yeah.
Dad, 935, get this, he says it's 0% drugs, 0% sex, 50% going, 50% stay.
Well done. Written by Mick Jones, either about him leaving the Clash or about his relationship with a woman called Ellen Foley, who is a backing singer who worked with Meatloaf. She's the female singer on Paradise by the Dashboard Light.
Okay.
But he won't say which one it is.
Fair enough.
Bit of both, probably.
Well, so I feel in some ways this song, I mean, I've loved this record since I heard it. I love the fact it was on the Levi's advert. I love the fact it was number 1 again at the time. And yet here we are, as of time of recording, talking about its cultural imports still. I mean, the Clash we've mentioned before, haven't we, James?
Yeah.
With, Beats International, Dub Be Good to Me, that Beats International took the bass line from, Norman Cook. I partly bring that up because I just wanted to see the look in your eyes when I mentioned Lindy Layton again. You love her, don't you? Yeah. Now, the Clash famously never wanted to do Top of the Pops because they thought it was selling out, didn't they? And yet, here they are, selling their song to Levi's.
Well, this is an interesting thing because obviously they get a lot of requests for using their songs in adverts, and they pretty much turn them all down. Because Mick Jones wrote this song, he kind of has the deciding vote on whether this is going to be in the Levi's ad. And Mick Jones just made the point that we are literally all wearing Levi's right now.
Okay.
This is a product we all buy. I think it's fine.
The classic get out clause. Yeah, right then.
It'd be nice for us, The Clash, to have a UK number 1 at some point.
And loads of money.
Because this is the only number 1 they ever have, The Clash, this re-release. And it is great.
It's great. It's great.
Someone said that it was reminiscent of a song by the Righteous Brothers called Little Latin Loopy Loo.
Oh, yeah. I know of that song.
I had listened to it, and you go, well, a bit.
Yeah.
I thought, oh, is this going to be a plagiarism? Nah, not really.
We do it sometimes, don't we? I was trying to claim that Madonna Crazy For You was ripped off from Twist and Shout earlier. So, you can say what you like, can't you? About it reminds me of this, that and the other. Always silly. Rather than watch the Clash clip, I watched the video to remind myself of what all the fuss was about. Did you have a look? Yeah.
Yeah, it's the guy playing pool.
Yeah.
The sexy man plays the fat man at pool.
before his trousers. They have some sort of bet that if you play pool, you've got to take your trousers off or something, haven't they?
Yeah, and luckily for all of us, the sexy man wins.
Yeah.
So the fat man takes his trousers off. Hooray!
That's not lucky for all of us, is it, really?
I was being sarcastic.
I was also the woman in it, the bartender, who, let's face it, is warm for the form of the jeans wearer. I recognised her from something. Did you?
Who's she?
She is Vanessa Angel, who went on to appear in the comic film Kingpin, at least, and loads of others. So, there we go.
What's the IMDb rating?
IMDb rating of Kingpin was, do you know, it went negative for some weird reason, James. I don't know what happened there.
Okay.
I like the fact the backing vocals are in Spanish. These are things you take for granted.
Yeah, it's from like the third verse onwards. The backing vocals are just them repeating the lyrics, but in Spanish.
Yeah.
I like that. Do you know who's doing the backing vocals?
No.
Well, it's, Joe,
The Clash.
Joe Strummer, members of The Clash, and Joe Ely,
Who is...
American blues singer.
Okay, cool, great. Like I say, this record's been about... loads of people on YouTube were going, I'm here because of Stranger Things, so it must have been in that show.
It shows up all the time. What has this record got in common with the Stonk by Hale and Pace?
Apart from being this week's top 10, go on.
It's all to do with the B-side.
Victoria Wood did the B-side to The Clash.
No, but a different artist is the B-side
go
on this release. It's Big Audio Dynamite, and their song Rush is the B-side. That was one of the provisos that Mick Jones put into the re-release.
I want the B-side royalties too.
I want my band to be the B-side.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Like I say, there's a particular rabid form of Clash fan, I think, who get really... I said it in a Patreon once. I'm not going to mention it here. Overrated. And I like the notion of the Clash fan being angry about something because they mean so much to people, don't they? As bloody Stevie B did earlier, so it's kind of a meanness notion that your fans are into you. There's something about the Clash selling out in this one I find pretty interesting. Reminded me, have you seen the Beyonce advert recently?
Which one's that?
Levi adverts.
No.
She's done adverts where she's almost recreated the glory days of the old ones. So there's one when she's in a laundrette, a little bit like Nick Cayman was, taking her jeans off and this, that, and the other.
I'd be interested in seeing that, purely for research purposes.
Yeah, well, they're all out there. So, Beyonce has recreated, let's call it the classic. This is a weird world we're living in today's day and age, isn't it? Where now... the notion of pop culture feeding on itself, recreating adverts from the 80s and 90s now, pop stars are.
I want to see Chapel Roan do the It's Tasty, Tasty, Very, Very Tasty Kellogg's Brunflakes advert.
That'd be good, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I want to see Sabrina Carpenter do you buy one, you get one free.
I want to see Taylor Swift talking about how a finger of fudge is just enough. All right, then. Yeah, so... here we are, like I say, this is what's happening, isn't it? Yeah. Number one, on the 14th of March 1991, is an old record because of some denim. Okay, James, well, that was a chart, wasn't it, that we've done, them top 10 songs. How did you take that chart as a general overview, despite your earlier protestation that it was so varied?
I said at the start of the first half that I thought this didn't really have the identity of its year. I now retract that comment. I'm clearly talking out my hole.
Sorry. We've learned a little bit. It's a podcast where you can learn as well.
Yeah.
What's your favourite?
Had you asked me before this week, if you'd gone, here are the songs, which one's your favourite? I'll go, well, it's probably The Clash, isn't it? It isn't. It's Joyride by Roxette.
Hashtag me too.
My wife hates that song. Is also another thing I've learnt this week, so she's going to be furious.
Listen to all this top 10 on our Spotify and YouTube playlist. Admittedly, on the Spotify, you haven't got You Got the Love by Candice Staton, but there's no Hale and Pace, so swings and roundabouts say. But we would like to thank the British record buying public around the 14th of March 1991 to purchase these records for us to talk about, but more importantly, we'd like to thank you for listening.
And if you have enjoyed this and want to hear us talk about some more songs, including some absolutely massive songs from Massive Attack, R.E.M., Happy Mondays, and more, that's what we're going to do in our bonus tracks podcast. You can join our Patreon community for free at patreon.com/ShoobyPodcast.
Listen to the top 10, rate, review, share, subscribe, follow. That'd be about our show, essentially, wouldn't it? I'm claiming that for rather than just anybody else's. But nonetheless, put some love out in the world. Put some love out in the world generally, actually. Look after your family. Look after your loved ones. Whatever you do, shooby dooby doo up.
Bop bop shoo up.